from the dead.
After reinventing horror with classics such as Last House on the Left and Nightmare on Elm Street, and solidifying his career with other films such as The Hills Have Eyes and Swamp Thing, Wes Craven turned to voodoo and Haitian zombie lore for his 1988 film, The Serpent and the Rainbow, loosely based on anthropologist Wade Davis's nonfiction bestseller. And the film was also the inspiration for Godsmack's hit song Voodoo. Opinions on Serpent and the Rainbow seem mixed in hindsight, with some calling it a forgettable mess and others hailing it as one of Wes Craven's unsung classics. As a former college professor turned filmmaker, the film's basis of anthropology is on the surface a great fit for Wes Craven. Serpent and the Rainbow's portrayal of zombies draws less from the George Romero template and takes more inspiration from the exotic locales and the mysteries of voodoo as seen in I Walked with a Zombie, to which this is often compared. So today's gonna be my first review of a Shout Factory disc. Looking at my collection, I have currently 9 Shout Factory movies. So of course today I bought, just dropped everything below the camera. Anyway, I've got Serpent and the Rainbow. So last time I watched Serpent and the Rainbow was in 2007. I actually rented it from Blockbuster, one of the last movies I rented there before I started doing Netflix. So I remember renting it twice, actually, because I remembered thinking it was a really good movie. Haven't seen it since, though. So, this is some cool artwork. The back has the famous tagline, "Don't bury me, I'm not dead," which leads to one of the scariest scenes in the movie. Got the classic poster on the disc. What do we got here? Since this is the Scream Factory line, we've got a little advertisement inside for some other titles. Now, one of my favorite parts of Shout Factory releases is the reversible cover art. Sometimes they have the original VHS cover or some other poster inside, so let's see what's in here. Oh, that's cool. So this poster has the original artwork that was on the VHS. So I'm excited to watch this movie again. It's one I always recommend to people, even though it's been a long time since I watched it. As far as Wes Craven movies go, I would say in my top 5 Wes Craven movies.
You'll see it all. You'll feel it, the cold. In the cover, it is worse.
So I spent the last couple weeks going through all the special features on the Serpent and the Rainbow Blu-ray. It's got a commentary with Bill Pullman. My biggest disappointment with the commentary is he had to bail halfway through. He said he had to go to another production or something, which is too bad. He was a good interviewer. Another new addition for this disc was a making-of featurette. Unfortunately, it was recorded after Wes Craven had died, so he's not featured in it, which is very sad. I would like to have heard more of him speaking about the film and his experiences making it. It also features a theatrical trailer, TV spot, and some behind-the-scenes stills that were cool to see. So for the film itself, having been away from it for 15 years, I think it holds up quite well, actually. I was afraid it would not live up to my good memories I had of watching it long ago. So the film feels a bit different from a lot of Wes Craven's other films from that time. At least the first 2/3 of the film feel a bit different from Nightmare on Elm Street. One similarity, of course, is this film does involve dreams and hallucinations, so that element is there, and Wes Craven, you can tell, had a lot of fun using his style to really convey just the batshit insanity of a lot of the nightmare scenes. A lot of the scariest scenes in the film involve the main villain portrayed brilliantly by Zakes Mokai.
Hi, I'm forgettable actor Bill Pullman. You might not remember me from such movies as While You Were Sleeping and Twister. Wait, was I in Twister?
As for Bill Pullman, though a lot of people like to give him some shit for his acting through the years, I think he's quite good in this film. At worst, his narration's a bit wooden.
He's gonna get to me wherever I am. I know that now.
But he really shines in scenes where he has to display terror, and this is one of his first major roles in a film. As for the transfer of the film, it looks gorgeous on this edition. I'd forgotten just how colorful the film is. Haiti is portrayed as a very vibrant, very colorful environment. The film also delves a lot into the political corruption that Haiti experienced in the 80s and has experienced since, unfortunately. A lot of the film feels more like an adventure with dark undertones rather than a full-blown horror film. It even feels like Wes Craven was trying to branch out, not just be the horror guy, which he definitely was pigeonholed into at this point in his career. Now, unfortunately, it feels as if there was a lot of studio meddling from the producers towards the end of the film. Early in the film, while it does involve a lot of nightmare sequences and a lot of surreal elements, there's a sense of realism to the scenes even when fantasy elements are involved early on. Somewhere in the final act is where it just takes a sharp turn into more over-the-top, goofy territory, such as the once terrifying Haitian jail cell just turns into a goofy haunted house, more or less. And there is a scene in which a character has his skin burned off and turns into another Freddy Krueger. While fun, a lot of that felt very out of place in what was otherwise kind of a grim and at times brutal story early on.
Not good enough.
One thing I didn't know, which I learned from Wikipedia, is originally this film was supposed to be directed by Peter Weir and starring Mel Gibson. So that would have been a very different film, that's for sure. Imagine it would have been similar to Peter Weir's The Last Wave in a lot of ways. In spite of some of the film's flaws and it going off the rails in the final act, I still think it's a solid film and I enjoy it greatly. I give it an 8 out of 10. And I still rank it among my top 5 Wes Craven films, that for sure. I should probably revisit Last House on the Left before I decide where I rank that one. So if you're looking for a Wes Craven film that isn't one of his iconic slashers, this one's a good film to check out. While it feels like producers were trying to rein him into familiar territory to make the film more marketable, you can tell Wes Craven was trying to branch out and do something new. So if you're a fan of the film, this Shout Factory edition is definitely worth buying. It has a lot of great features, the film looks amazing, it has some nice tributes to Wes Craven on it as well.